So you're very welcome back to Unstable TV. Thanks so much for joining us today. So if this is your first time on the channel, do not forget to
like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell, and if you're back with us again, thanks.
So what is going on today, Daniil?
So a couple of weeks ago we were checking out the house of the spider in the Quran, and a couple of people have asked us to check out the example of the mosquito.
So a very big shout out to everyone that has commented on previous videos telling us to check out the example of the mosquito. We do appreciate that. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this for ourselves and you guys. Let's go!
Indeed, Allah is not ashamed to present a mosquito as an example or anything that is above it. As for those who believe, they know that it is the truth from their Lord. But as for those who disbelieve, they say, what did Allah intend by this example? The Quran, chapter 2, verse 26. The first question that comes to mind is, what does Allah mean when using a mosquito as an example? Essentially, Allah is saying that even a fly is enough to demonstrate His existence. At first glance, you might be thinking, how? But by doing some reflection, it will hopefully make a lot more sense. Let's consider that this verse came down 1,400 years ago to a tribe in the middle of a desert. It is only in the last 200 years that science has made huge progress and knowledge has increased like never before. What we once thought was an insignificant little fly has actually proved to be a phenomenal species full of complexities. Here are some facts that we have come to know. The mosquito egg is always laid in water. As the mother lays her eggs, she sticks them together into an array to form a raft structure to stop them from sinking. From there, the eggs turn into larvae that swim around upside down on the surface of the water whilst breathing through a tube, a bit like a snorkel. The larvae then turn into pupae and then break out as adults with the ability to fly instantly. This small insect that has hatched is currently the deadliest animal in the world. Ever wondered why they have extremely fast reflexes? Well, that's because the mosquito has a pair of compound eyes. Each compound eye is made up of hundreds of mini eyes called lenses that curve around. Each lens takes an image at a different angle which its brain processes. For this reason, the mosquito can see almost everything happening around it at any given time without having to turn around. Physicists have been fascinated by this and have been trying to copy this system to develop self-driving cars, drones and safety cameras, to say the least. The mosquito uses carbon dioxide sensors to detect your breath from up to 50 meters away. Once it finds its way into your room, it detects heat from your body to land exactly where it will start to suck your blood. This is how they see you in the dark when you are asleep. Amazingly, the mosquito uses 6 needles to suck blood in a highly sophisticated manner. First, it removes a protective layer to expose the needles. Then it uses the sharp teeth on the outside 2 needles to drill through your skin, like a saw.
Ooh.
The 2 inner needles hold the cut open whilst the middle 2 probe around to find a blood vessel. Once a blood vessel is found, one of the probe needles spits chemicals to numb the pain and help your blood to flow. The other probe needle acts like a straw and starts sucking your blood. As it sucks, its body separates the water and squeezes it out of its back to pack in as many nutrients as possible. Sounds like a surgical operation, right?
Yeah.
This is an image of the mosquito's foot. It is made up of a complex array of features that protect it and allow it to land on many different surfaces, such as water, to feed its eggs. As for its wings, the mosquito flaps them about 1,000 times every single second to help it fly. it is clear that this tiny creature we can barely see with the naked eye is packed with many efficient systems allowing it to function and breed. Let's now refer back to the verse in the Quran. After Allah presents the example of a mosquito, He then says, and what is above it. The Arabic used for this, فَمَا فَوْقَهَا, linguistically has many meanings, including what is above it physically and what is above it in size. Guess what? All definitions apply. In terms of size, well, we don't have to look too far into nature to see that a mosquito is nothing compared to what is out there. The universe is so complex, yet so perfect, that it is beyond human comprehension. What about above it physically? Well, scientists have discovered that some mosquitoes have tiny larval water mites that live above them as parasites. Allah continues the verse and says, as for those who believe, they know that it is the truth from their Lord. See, as Muslims, we believe that everything around us screams the existence of a creator. In fact, when we are asked for proof, we respond by asking where the proof isn't, even if it is just a fly. Allah then says, but as for those who disbelieve, they say, what did Allah intend by this example? Isn't this the case? Wouldn't the disbeliever credit all of this to anything other than a creator, such as evolution or chance? Wouldn't the disbeliever still consider the mosquito insignificant and unimpressive? The reality is, we are all so used to the world around us. We are so used to how perfect nature is and how perfectly its laws allow us to sustain life. The fact of the matter is, if all of humanity gathered together, we couldn't create a single fly. And if we gathered all of our knowledge, it wouldn't even be a small fraction of what we still don't know. Yet some of us sadly believe that we have enough wisdom and intelligence to deny there is a creator as a possibility, just because it doesn't make sense. Think about this. To copy just one of the systems in a mosquito, we need years of research and teams of scientists around the world to produce something half as good. Yet the mosquito is lighter than a feather, can hardly be seen, and is jam-packed full of systems and sensors that allow it to live. And remember, the mosquito is only one of millions of different species that are on planet Earth alone, each one having unique characteristics. Isn't this verse so incredible?
So first off, a very big shout out to the original content creator. Do make sure you check them out, give them a like, subscribe and share and all that good YouTube stuff. A very big shout out to the people that did suggest this to us in the comment section. We do appreciate that. The mosquito example, it's a very interesting one. I like the question of how does it take science so many years to recreate the mosquito. I like that, the way they say that. But then how do we know that's true? How do we know everything we're being given is true about it? Is just a question I'd like to ask. I like where the verse is going, that something that we think is small and insignificant has that much power, that even Allah will show us just that is what they're trying to say. Or maybe I'm picking that up wrong. What did you think of that, Danielle?
Yeah, I thought that was a good example. You know, in a lot of religions they always say, you know, everything around you, what you see, what you can feel, what you can smell is made by the creator.
Yeah.
So using the example of a mosquito it's good. I thought it was a great example to use. Considering how like technical a mosquito is.
Yeah.
I could understand why religious people would look at this verse and think it's a really good verse to show other people that aren't, to try and understand the Islam religion a bit more.
Yeah, how intricate it is for when it's coming, mosquitoes are coming to suck your blood, the amount of needles and on it. I didn't realise. I thought it was just one needle in from its face and then out, and then it has your blood. But to know that there's an actual, like, there's so much in the mosquito that does that, that's crazy. I'm still trying to understand the correlation here of what is trying to be shown by this verse, that, like, Allah misguides, but he also guides at the same time. I'm a bit confused about that. If anyone wants to try and clear that up in the comments for us.
They're saying, all animals and everything in the food chain and stuff is created by Allah.
Yeah.
Where do, the followers of Islam, where do they think humans fit on the food chain? Because I believe we're all one in nature. Humans, animals, insects, everything, everything is a part of the same ecosystem. That none is, we're all in the same ecosystem, none's higher than the other.
Yep.
So, do people that follow Islam think human beings are higher than animals and insects, or what's let me know.
So of course we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. If you're a follower, if you're not, we want to hear your thoughts about this, what you think of the verse itself and what it means, and what does it mean to you. Of course, that has been our 2 cents, and we will chop ourselves out as